I'm back in the garden this morning for an application lesson from Matthew 13. This is Motivation Monday. It's been a tremendous season of growth and learning here in the home garden, and I've tried to share some of the spiritual things I think about when I'm out here in the garden with you on Motivation Monday. And I appreciate your feedback, your encouragement, the things that you've taken and applied to your life in these lessons. And I just appreciate you continuing to watch these Motivation Monday videos. Well, behind me I have a failed crop of corn. Everything else that's going right, but we have failed corn. It burned up as soon as the real Texas summer hit. For the last 2 weeks or so, these plants withered up and died. They were out of here. They produced about 20 or 30 ears of corn that we enjoyed, but they did not sustain through the heat. And so what came into my mind immediately was Matthew 13 and the parable of the sower and the seed. Specifically, the plant, the seed that was sown among the rocky soil there in verse 6 of Matthew 13. And what do we see is the problem there? Well, the roots are shallow and they burn up in the heat. What happened when I started pulling these plants up? Well, sure enough, you guessed it, the roots are shallow. Way too shallow to sustain a corn plant like this. Even though we watered it, even though we took care of it, the plant did not grow the roots that it needed. So we'll try and figure out that problem. But let's talk about the more important spiritual application here. Of course, down in verses 20 and 21, we find out that that seed that's sown among the rocky soil represents one who receives the word with great joy, but fails to develop that root system, that system that will support and sustain when times get hard, when persecution because of the word comes. We recognize that we are going to face difficulties in life. And if you want a faith that's going to endure, if you want a faith that's going to not only survive but thrive, you have to invest in it yourself. You know, I've poured water on these plants consistently and provided a good growing environment, but the plant itself needs to set those roots. We as Christians too need to set those roots. So what's next here? Well, I'm going to pull these plants up. They're of no use to me. They're dead. And so I'm going to plant something else. Maybe some more corn, maybe some black-eyed peas. There's still season left. And I want you to know that that's a good lesson for you too. You might be watching this video right now and you might think, you know what, I've done too many bad things. I am too far gone for God to have a plan for me, for there to be any hope for me. Well, I know that if you're watching this video, if you're capable of watching this video right now, there is still season left for you. There is still hope left for you. God's word, that seed, can be planted in your heart and it can grow. And there is hope and season left for you. Through my years of ministry, I've run into a lot of people that thought they were too bad for God's love. But God's love, God's salvation, God's hope and forgiveness far outmeasures anything we can even comprehend. And I'm so thankful for that. So recognize that there is still a season left for you. Let God's word grow in you and produce fruit. God bless you this week. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you grow in the Lord and that you share with others.